you doing?
God be the glory for the things he has done.
Yes, sir.
To the esteemed pastor of this, the great St. Judah Church, Pastor Grant. His beautiful wife.
Yeah! Hallelujah!
And to you,
Play that.
the St. Judah Spiritual Baptist Church, for 63 years. I think this calls for celebration. The Lord has kept you together. Thank God for that. Because truly, you don't stay together 63 years unless the Lord had something to do with it. So we thank God for his steady hand upon this branch of Zion. To the preachers that grace this pulpit area with me, to the leaders here of this church, members, saints, and friends, to New Creation in Christ Baptist Church, who thought it not robbery to come to this engagement. To God be the glory.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
For the things he has done.
And
I
continuing to
just
do.
believe that God is going to continue to do great things. Especially for those who are faithful.
Yes, sir.
We were talking in the office. Someone brought up a scripture. If you are faithful over a few things,
Come on, come on, come on.
then God would make you ruler over many. Some of us would never get to the many because we can't be faithful over a few.
A few things.
Why the Lord gonna bless you with a Bentley and you won't put gas in the Volkswagen?
Come on, come on, come on.
Faithful over a few.
Yes, sir.
Then the Lord will grant you favor over many. I'm going to be faithful over a little
I may have a lot.
because I don't know about you, but I need a lot.
Amen.
Somebody just be honest about that. You
Need a lot.
gas is high, grocery is high, rent is high. You need more than just a little nowadays.
Amen. Amen.
And so we thank God for 63 years that the Lord has kept you. To my wife, thank you for being here. And she is what keeps me going. And wouldn't be here without her. So I thank God for her. Amen.
Amen.
Now, this is my 4th sermon today.
Jesus. Use him, Lord.
And Mama Giles, I think I still got a little gas in the gas tank.
Praise the Lord.
So we're just hoping that the Lord would just fill me up
Yes, Lord.
Yes, sir.
so that I can get through the sermon. I asked Pastor Grant about the theme, and he said just preach. So that's what I want to do. But I want to say this. We talked about this in the office as well. This is for preachers and leaders in church, especially. Sometimes the blessings come through your serving of the pastor.
That's right.
Come on now.
The problem nowadays, we have people who don't want to serve. You can't get
That one.
here. So I'm learning how to serve here. I don't hear what I'm saying.
Come on, Reverend.
My pastor, Reverend Cage, used to say, you have to be in the way.
That's right.
And the reason I'm pastoring today, one reason is because I was always in the way. He would go somewhere and preach, and I was right there. And every now and then, he would say, Coley, sing me a song. And I would get up and sing a song. And then the pastor of that church would invite me back to preach. Because I was just in the way. Tell someone, sometimes you just got to get in the way.
I get in the way. Sometimes. Amen.
I told our preachers this morning, because I had an 11 o'clock service. Our service is at 9 o'clock, and I had another 11 o'clock service, and I told our preachers, I said, y'all just, don't worry about coming, just go. And I meant that for them not to come. But Reverend Rollins just feels like he needs to be wherever I am.
That's right.
So he showed up. And there was a man at the service who had lost his son a few months ago rather. And he said, Pastor Coley, I want to adopt you as my son. He said, so my late son had these watches with a big face on it. And he said, they're very expensive watches. And he said, I got them in my car. He said, I want to give you a couple of watches. So he comes out with this bag. Some of the watches were still in the case. He said, Pastor Cole, just put your hand in there and just get, he said, get 2 watches. So I looked in there and I saw 2 watches that I liked. I put my hand in the bag. So I got the 2 watches. And guess who was standing beside me? And so he looked at Reverend Rollins. He said, you want one? Reverend Rollins said, yeah. So he said, just put your hand in the bag and get what you want. Reverend Wallace put his hand in the bag. He got him a watch too.
Amen. Amen.
All because
He's in the way.
he's in the way. I don't got a witness here.
Come on, come
Tell
on.
somebody, sometimes you just got to get in the way.
He's in the way.
Nothing get in the way. Book of Ecclesiastes, very familiar passage of scripture on creation. You've heard me deal with this text before, and I want to deal with it again on this 63rd church anniversary of this branch of Zion. Is Ecclesiastes chapter 4, beginning at verse number 9. Say amen. NIV version, here's how it reads. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their work. One falls down, his friend can help him up, but pity the man who falls down and has no one to help him up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Look at your neighbor and say, maybe we need each other. That was the wrong one because they didn't get excited. Find someone who look like they're going to get excited. Just lift your hands. Your hands. You deserve it. Come on, Reverend. You deserve it. salvation, my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer.
Yes, yes, yes.
God's people say, Amen. You may be seated.
Thank you, Lord.
From the pinnacle of human success and power, the book of Ecclesiastes surveys life and discovers that vanity is vanity.
Mm-hmm.
All is vanity. The book of Ecclesiastes is the sad sequel to the book of Proverbs.
Mm.
In it, Solomon teaches wise sayings and advises them about living godly and fruitful lives. But in Ecclesiastes, Solomon laments because he has played the fool by failing to take his own advice. And now he views life as being meaningless. This is the tension of the text. That life is a vapor. And no matter what you do in it, whether good or bad, eventually all you have done and accomplished dissipates and vanishes away.
Come on.
Our text is a part of Solomon's continuing rant about life.
Mm.
Verses 1 through 8 gives us a glimpse into part of the reasoning behind his argument. First of all, he rants about the oppression throughout the earth. In verses 1, 2, and 3, he observes the oppressed. He notices their tears and the reason behind it. Those who were oppressed were crying because of injustice. They were pitted against their oppressors without aid nor assistance. But their oppressors had aligned themselves with powerful allies. And thus the downtrodden have no sympathetic companionship nor any humane response to their suffering. Not only is he ranting about oppression, but he is also ranting about competition. In verse 4, envy and competition are identified as the unhealthy impulses behind all human work. That is, man's sole purpose for earning a living is because he is jealous of his neighbor's possessions, and thus he competes against him. He fights against him, stabs him in the back, spreads lies against him, and will even resort to murder because man doesn't want the next person to accomplish more than himself. Not only does he rant about oppression and competition, but he also rants about procrastination. In verse 5, the writer says, the fool won't work and almost starves, but feels that it is better to be lazy and barely get by than to work hard. King James Version says it like this: the fool foldeth his hands together and eateth his own flesh. The imagery here suggests that when a man doesn't work, the destructive effects are painted as self-cannibalism. That we've always said that if a person don't work, he won't eat. But Solomon is suggesting that when you don't work, you can still eat, but it won't be steak and it won't be ham or collard greens. Instead, a person who doesn't work eats up his opportunity to be successful in life. Not only does he rant about oppression, competition, and procrastination, but he also rants about the isolation throughout the earth. Verses 7 through 8, it reads like this: again, I saw vanity under the sun. The case of individuals without sons or brothers, individuals who had isolated themselves without sons or brothers, yet there is no end to their toil. And their eyes are never satisfied with riches. For whom am I toiling, they ask, and depriving myself of pleasure? This also is vanity. Verses 7 and 8 expresses the common denominator that conjoins the previous verses. It shows the deplorable example of miserable people who work in utter isolation from any kind of human community. Thus, the hidden message of verses 1 through 8 is this: man is selfish. And because of his selfishness to rule and oppress others, because of his selfishness, envy, and competitive desire to harm others for materialistic gain, and because he folds his arm and eats his own flesh as a cannibal, he is now isolated. Scripture does not join us in the exaltation of the individual. Proverbs 18:1 says, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. In other words, isolation from others is both selfish and foolish. Because in creation, the first thing God said was not good was the fact that man was alone. Here it is. God created us for community. And true faith is always lived out in community with other believers. What are you saying, Reverend? I'm saying it like this. We have to be careful not to isolate ourselves in ministry. We must guard against the I can do this all by myself syndrome, that I don't need the pastor, and I don't need the preacher, and I don't need the deacons, and I don't need the church. I can do this all by myself. We got to guard against that kind of thinking, because that kind of thinking is vanity. Our text today is a part of Solomon's instructions on living a meaningful life.
Come on, preach it.
Implication here is that in order to have a life that is meaningful, you must learn to value fellowship and relationship over possessions. I don't have a witness here today. Verses 9 through 12 suggest the need for human companionship so that life's results can be meaningful.
Come on.
Not meaningless. He makes this point in verse 9 when he says, two are better than one.
Yeah.
Because they have a good return for their work. Solomon here is suggesting that we need each other. Tell someone we need each other.
We need each other.
Question now is, why do we need each other? He answers the question for us. In verse 1, Solomon says we need each other while we are working. Verses 10 and 10, rather Ecclesiastes 10 and 10 reads, if the axe is dull and its edge unsharpened, more strength is needed, but skill will bring success. The point of this verse is this, that it is better to work smarter than to work harder. And verse 9 of our text gives us a simple way to work smarter. And that is this: don't work alone.
Don't work alone.
Yes, sir, Doc. Because what the text is suggesting is that hard work is a toil. This text speaks to hard work and labor. The picture here is that of a laborer in the field who has to work hard to provide for his family. I've discovered in my 14 years of pastoral service that pastoring Negroes is hard work. I don't got a witness here. You're talking about the Negro community. It's hard work. I don't know about other communities, but the Negro community is crazy. I got a witness here. Leading people is hard work. Praying for people who don't like you. Wish I had a witness here. That's hard work. That's hard. Loving people and praying for people who won't speak to you for no reason but something that they conjured up in their own little sick mind is hard work. Somebody's hard work. It's hard work. It's hard work. You come to message, you done prepared your best message. And folks fall asleep during the sermon. That's just someone that's hard work. It's hard work. When you have to bury people who are close to you.
Come on.
You have to say goodbye. To the people that love you. And you still got to pastor the Negroes that don't. Somebody's hard work.
It's hard work.
You say you want to be a pastor? All right. Be prepared to have your closest friends to stab their back on you. Be prepared to have your own family members talk about you. Be prepared when your anniversary comes. Folk don't want you to have nothing. That's somebody that's hard work. And when the work gets hard, Rosella, you can't do it by yourself. That's why it says two are better than one, because when the work gets hard, you need somebody to stand with you. You need somebody to pray with you. You need somebody to embrace you and tell you everything is going to be all right. He says two are better than one. The assumption of the text is that meaningful life is hard work. But the affirmation of the text is that you can accomplish more when you work together. Tell someone you can accomplish more when you work together.
Some more when you work together.
I like to tell this story wherever I go. Whenever I preach this sermon, is that, Alex Haley has this picture, a picture in his office of a turtle sitting on top of a fence. And whenever someone would walk into his office and ask him, why do you have a picture of a turtle sitting on top of a fence? And Alex would tell them, whenever you see a picture of a turtle sitting on top of a fence, you know that the turtle didn't get there by himself. Y'all got a witness here today.
Yeah.
What does matter? There are some places that you can't get by yourself. I wish I had a witness here. You need somebody to help you to get there. Matter of fact, if you were being honest today, some of you didn't get where you are by yourself. Somebody co-signed for you to get your first car. Somebody, I had a witness here, paid for you to get some books in college. You didn't get there by yourself. Come on. Woo! Yeah. Each other when we get out of here when we're working. But then we need each other when we are falling.
That's right.
Text says 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their work. If one falls down, his friend can help him up.
Yes.
But pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up. Verse 10 through 12 makes the point that 2 are better than 1 with the picture of a traveler on the road. But verse 10 addresses a common threat that everyone who stands and put one foot after another faces. You may fall down.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 10 and 12 reads, therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. In other words, the person who thinks that they are exempt from falling is the leading candidate to fall. Simply put, you are not exempt from failure. I know you don't drink anymore. I know you don't cuss anymore. Oh, that ain't your, you're still cussing. I know you don't cuss anymore, but let somebody cut you off while you're driving. And then give you the finger. Let somebody cut your paycheck after you have worked 40 hours. And let somebody talk about your mama. You just may fall. We all fail at something.
In some areas, that's right.
The point here, Mother Giles, is sometimes when you fall, you can't recover on your own.
That's right.
You need a friend to help you recover. Galatians 6 and 1 says, brothers, if someone is caught in a fault, you who are spiritual, Lord have mercy, should restore him gently. Maybe that's the problem. You can't help nobody when they fall because you're not spiritual.
Yes.
You got your own religion. That's how come you lay it on the shelf. I don't got a witness here. He said, if you are spiritual, you will help somebody else. And that's what a true friend does. True friend doesn't criticize or constantly remind you of your fault. They just restore you. You may have been a drug user, but they'll just restore you. That's how the church is supposed to be.
That's right.
Church ought not be a place that kick people when they down.
Well, come on, come on.
It ought to be a place that picks fallen people up, puts them back on their feet, and help them to get on track. I'm finished with y'all. Look at what Solomon says. If one falls down, his friend can help him up, but pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up. That last statement reveals why some fallen people never make it up again after they have fallen. They are alone.
They're alone when they fall. No one to help them out.
Charles Swindoll says it like this. He says friendships must be cultivated. They don't automatically occur when calamity strikes. Here it is for you folk that want to be alone. You cannot be determined to walk alone and expect someone to be there when you fall.
That's right.
So true. Come on, bro.
If there is going to be someone there to help you when you fall, you need to make sure you are walking with people you can trust just in case you fall.
That's right. Come on.
Said we need each other when we're working, when we're falling, and then when we are freezing. The text says verse 11, also if two lie down together, they will keep warm, but how can one keep warm alone? Some people apply this principle to marriage, but there is no mention of marriage in the text.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
This is the picture of a traveler on a road, and while on the path, it gets dark and it gets cold. And this traveler may be in an area where there are no homes for him to lodge. The temperature has dropped, and although he has a coat and a scarf, it's not enough to keep him warm. So verse 11 suggests to us that we need to provide warmth to each other so that both of us can survive the cold.
That's right.
One thing I discovered in life is that it's not always warm and cozy. Sometimes life can be cold.
Yeah.
Circumstances can be cold. People can be cold. You know, Pastor Grant, it's cold when people lie on you. It's cold when people mistreat you. It's cold when people smile in your face. And all the time they try to take your place. The OJs call them.
Come on now, preach that.
And it's in those times that you need somebody to hug you
Yes.
and encourage you.
Keep going.
Because that's what keeps you warm. New Edition had a song. Trina, you know it. Sunny Days. Everybody loves them. But can you stand the rain? It's a perfect song to describe a fair weather friend. See, I don't need you to love me when I have money. I need you to love me when I'm broke. Don't just hug me because I have something to offer. But hug me when I don't have a thing in the world to offer. Don't just support me when everyone else is supporting me, but support me when folk walk off and leave me alone. I don't just need you while it's hot, but I need you when it gets cold. We need each other when we're working. We need each other when we're falling, when we're freezing. But then we need each other when we are fighting. Verse 12 reads, though one may be overpowered, two can defend defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken.
Amen.
This reminds us that there are some battles you cannot fight alone.
That's right.
There are some attacks you cannot face alone. There are some issues you can't figure out on your own. There are some habits that you cannot break on your own. And there are some needs that you cannot meet on your own. You need someone to help you fight. Paul tells us to put on the armor of God so that we can stand. He talks about the breastplate of righteousness. He talks about the girdle. He talks about the shoes, the shield, the helmet, and the sword.
Yes.
He tells us to put these items on, but he doesn't mention anything about the back. You see, in ancient Rome, they did not need armor to protect the back, because when they fought the enemy, they always fought back to back.
Yeah.
And that's what we need in our churches. That's what we need in our community.
Yes, yes.
We need to fight the enemy back to back. We need to fight social injustice back to back. We need to fight war back to back. We need to fight against police brutality back to back. We need to fight against human prejudice back to back.
Yeah.
We need to fight against education reform back to back. We need to fight against spiritual wickedness back to back.
Yeah.
We need to fight against gossip in the church, against backbiting in the church,
Yeah.
against lying in the church.
Yeah.
We need to fight it back
To the back.
to back.
Yes, 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 yes.
Verse 12 reads, as I close, though one may be overpowered to defend themselves. He says 3 strands is not easily broken. Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves.
That's right, that's right.
A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. I'm reminded now of a story about an old man on his deathbed.
Come on, come on.
This man had 3 sons. Pastor Grant, these 3 boys were always fighting against each other. The man one day decided to call his sons to his bedside. He was about to give up the ghost. He was on his way home to see Jesus. And while he was on his sickbed, he gave his 3 sons a bundle of sticks. And he asked them a question. He said, can you break these sticks? The first son tried to break the bundle of sticks. He tried with all his might, but he could not break the bundle of sticks. The second son came along and he tried to break the bundle of sticks. He gave it his best shot. He strained and hard as he could, but he could not break the bundle of sticks. Finally, the youngest son